Hi, I'm Patty.
I'm Kim Michelle.
And I'm Jill. Welcome to our podcast. It's a great day to talk.
Because honestly, what day isn't a great day to talk?
So join us in our conversation.
A Great Day to Talk is brought to you by St. George Design, offering complete website design, social media management, search engine optimization, Google and Facebook ad management, and many other digital and print marketing services. stgeorgedesign.com. And by Richardson Brothers Custom Homes, third-generation builders who have been building custom homes in southern Utah for over 25 years. They will take your dream home from concept to completion. Contact richardsonbrothers.com. The April Gates Group and Zion Canyon Real Estate have been specializing in helping southern Utah clients buy and sell property for over 18 years. We can help you too. Call or text April today. 435-632-8869. 435-632-8869.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome
Look,
back.
we are starting with the song. Oh, man, and we're probably ending with a song. Everybody's off now.
Hello, and welcome back.
Oh, thank
Kim
you.
Michelle, we're so happy that you're back. Missed you
thank
so,
you.
so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Well, it's been 4 weeks since
Our last episode of A Great Day to
together.
Talk.
Yes.
And
2 weeks ago, you and I were solo, and we talked
Yep.
about things of the fall.
fall, y'all.
But it was 4 weeks ago that
Yeah.
Kim
We
Michelle
had
was
Kim
with
and
us.
We're so happy. We're so happy you're back.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Love
I'm so
you,
happy
love
to
you,
be
love you.
back, for sure.
Yeah.
And Sean, we're happy you're back too.
Yeah, from Jamaica and Florida.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All the places.
Yes.
All the places.
Excellent.
And the sand. And the beach.
Excellent.
And the
excellent,
warm.
excellent.
And the
Oh,
Toes in
jellyfish.
the
right. Did
Okay,
you get stung?
that's
in
enough.
the water, ass in the sand. Not
Good
a
word
word
in the world, got a beer in my hand. Life is good to me. Life is good to me. My sons love that song because when they were young and it came out and there was ass in the sand, they thought it was so great.
They could sing.
They would sing it.
If
and
I
say
sing it, it's not
It's okay.
swearing.
Yeah,
Right, Mom?
I'm quoting it. That
Yes.
doesn't count. Yeah.
Friends, hello. I am so happy to see you. I'm so happy
Aw.
to see you. It is a fantastically great day to talk, and we are here to visit. And welcome back. I'm Jill, and to my left is the lovely and lovely mist. Lovely mist, the
Lovely
very
mist.
the very
Yeah.
mist, Kim Michelle, and to her left is the beautiful, sassy, redheaded doll face,
Yeah.
Patricia.
That
Yeah,
was a
doll
lot.
face.
Lot
That's a
to
lot
live
of
up to.
That's a lot of
adjectives.
adjectives
Yeah.
right there.
Love it, love it, love it. But we're so happy that you're here with us tonight, and thank you for joining us. And it's just so great to be back together.
Yes, it really is.
Right. Just starting off right now, things that I'm grateful for is being able to be here with you too.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, we love to meet beforehand and catch up, and
Well, especially because we haven't been
it's
together
been
for
so
a
long.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
which is
and-
a long time for us.
Oh my
really,
gosh,
you
it
know,
really,
to not
really.
be able to be together
Yep.
for
Well,
various reasons,
and to hear about your trip,
yes,
which was awesome.
just so fabulous, and it's so appropriate that today we're talking about an attitude of gratitude because November is the month of gratitude. When I'm returning from this just amazing trip to Nova Scotia where so many people came together to support us, my sister, our oldest son who went with us, but everybody who even stayed here and took care of dogs and took care of the house and all of those kinds of things. My mom who stepped in and just made this trip possible for us. And even Scott who said yes without even a moment's hesitancy when he had this small window of time between treatment to say, okay, we're going to go. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go. And
Knowing he
I'm
didn't
just so
feel
grateful.
great.
He didn't feel great.
At first?
At first. It took 2 or 3, maybe 4 days. And I shared with you, even Brandon was like, ooh, there were moments I thought I was going to have to go to the pilot and say, we're going to have to make an emergency landing here in Chicago because I don't think my dad's going to make it to Toronto. But we did. And we made it all the way into Nova Scotia and traveled throughout. And my sister was such an amazing trooper. And my mom sent us messages every day about where to go and what to see. And as we were there, she gave us the family history of that little town and our family history about who was there. And it was
you got to see
amazing.
cousins and aunts and uncles that you hadn't seen in a long time,
Yes, and we also then just had time to sit out on this beautiful lake in a cottage that was made available to us from people who didn't know us at all and just offered it to us because circumstances happened that where we were going to stay got hit by the remnants of Hurricane Ian.
Somebody.
Right?
Yep.
And they didn't have any power. They couldn't get the rest of the mattresses there. And people just came forward to create that experience. And it just reminds you how blessed you are, how blessed we are. We are so blessed in our life, Scott and I. And sometimes it just helps you put everything else in perspective.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you guys had that experience.
Yeah, just amazing. Just amazing. Scott's never been there. We've been married 41 years, together 43 years.
And you were born in Nova Scotia.
I was born in Nova Scotia. He's never been there. We've always talked about going, and now we're not just talking about it.
Yeah.
We've been.
Yeah.
It was great.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so
it was
happy.
fabulous.
Did he love every minute? Well, of course he did. He loved every minute.
Even
of
when
it.
he wasn't feeling well, he was really working hard to be in a place of, I'm here, right? But I'm telling you, as soon as he started feeling well, and there's no coincidence that he started feeling well in this loving space that had been gifted to us, that it was just night and day, the difference in him every single day. It was just fabulous. So to all our family there who reached out and created that space, and to all the strangers there who welcomed us and loved us, and everyone on this side who created that and loved us through that and supported us. And still continue to support us, still contribute to our GoFundMe to help with the medical expenses, which those are coming in now. I feel so full and blessed. You know, one of the nights, this isn't all about me, but here we go. One of the nights we were sitting at the lodge. On the last couple of nights, we moved to White Point Beach, which faces the ocean on one side and the river on the other side. It's just magnificent, and they have a wonderful restaurant there and a lodge, and they have somebody that comes in and sings, and they were singing, and Scott and I are eating, and he starts singing Garth Brooks' The Dance. And if you know that song, it talks about, would you, if you knew how life was going to show up, would you have changed it and risked missing the dance? And Scott and I turn to each other and we start singing that to each other. We're just bawling as we are singing this to each other in the restaurant. But it was such a beautiful moment to know, no, we wouldn't, regardless of where we are right now, we would not choose anything different.
Friend, love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had 42 great years so
Yeah,
far,
yeah,
and more
yeah,
to come.
Absolutely.
But just,
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful moments.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys got
Oh.
to go do
Oh,
that.
my gosh, yeah.
It just,
Thrilled.
yeah. Yeah.
So now he's home, and now
He's
you're home, and
Yep.
you're on a dead run getting school
Yep.
together.
Yep.
And
My
great-
kids were great. The substitutes just raved about how awesome my kids were. And I told the substitutes before I left, they're going to be fabulous. So enjoy them.
Yeah.
And they were, and the substitutes did.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So I'm
That's
just
awesome.
really proud of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
What a great
Yeah.
piece
Yeah. Yeah.
of history for you.
Yeah.
Well, that just kind of leads us off to the month of gratitude, folks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, it's
I mean, and-
Thanksgiving and all, but there's more to it than that.
Well,
yeah, because Nova Scotia already celebrated their Thanksgiving.
Yeah, their Thanksgiving is
October.
it's like
Oh.
the middle
Yeah.
of October, isn't it?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they do the turkey? No. What do they do?
No, they do weird food.
Okay, talk about the weird food. I want to know.
I don't even know what some of it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, we got
Nothing
look that up.
personal.
We got to look that up because I've always been interested in cultures and their foods, and I would love to know what they do for
They
Thanksgiving.
probably do hodgepodge. Oh,
Talk about that.
I can't.
Hodgepodge sounds like a potluck.
It sounds like something that you might find.
You throw together like a goulash or
Okay, I love my Canadian family, so I don't want them to be angry with me. So pretend that you can't hear me right now. I'm telling you, it is like potluck, but you take everything that everybody brings for potluck and you put it into one pot,
You
literally.
swirl it together.
You put some cream in there, and then you heat it up, and then you serve it.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you
Note,
even
note
get bread
to
to
self.
dip in that? I guess that's why they call it hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge. No. No, not having it.
Is the term hodgepodge in Canada? Is that the real word?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
they call this meal called hodgepodge. Because when we
Hodgepodge.
talk about hodgepodge here,
It's a mess.
it's a mess.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, we just
Yeah.
threw it all together, hodgepodge.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like it's almost a verb and a noun.
I think of the
Yeah.
blue for hodgepodge.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
comedy.
So
Okay.
yeah, right. So my Canadian friends, somebody made me say that. I don't necessarily believe that, but yeah, I kind of do.
It's
Okay.
kind of the truth.
Well,
it is kind of the truth. Yeah.
I wanted to talk a tiny bit about how we are very much more conscientious of things we're grateful for in November, but it's important to be grateful all the time, right?
Right.
But a heart full of gratitude can decrease depression.
Oh, yeah.
The cognitive behavioral therapy today has people who are in depression, maybe also needing medication or something else, but to change their way of thinking, writing down things they're grateful for, helps their depression lift.
Right.
Along with, I'm sure, other things as well. I can't imagine that would be the only thing, but
Right, but the
'Cause some
science,
chemical stuff,
the
but the
science
science behind
around
it.
gratitude is pretty clear.
mm-hmm.
So, and I think that there's kind of two components as it relates to gratitude. One is just an acknowledgement that your life is blessed,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is a recognition that other people have contributed
to your blessed life.
that blessed
Mhm.
life. And I think one of the beautiful things around gratitude and being in the space of gratitude is that when you're in that place of gratitude, like energy attracts like energy. So when you are in a place of gratitude energetically, then you will attract additional reasons to be grateful because energy attracts like energy.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
And it's a choice.
It is
You
always,
always
a
get to
choice.
Yeah,
choose. So
and
why
it's-
wouldn't you choose it?
well, because it's sometimes it doesn't come naturally. Sometimes you're mad or sad or feeling defeated, and so someone's saying yes, but what are you grateful for? And you want to be like nothing. I'm blah blah blah, and that's kind of that space you're in for a minute.
Yeah.
So it does make it hard, and having to put your stuff aside and go, okay, but honestly, I have heat, I have running water, I have food, I haven't
Right.
all the things. In fact, when I complain, I always am like, oh, well, there's another first world problem.
Right.
Because I really don't.
But
In
also,
the big
pain is
scheme,
pain.
Pain is pain. It is a relative for sure.
Right. But I also think that gratitude isn't equated necessarily with happy. So I can be in a place of gratitude around the blessings I have in my life and still be in a place that there may be things that I wish looked different.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If I
Yeah,
could
for
choose
sure.
it, there are some things I might choose different.
Oh, for sure.
And still also be in a place of gratitude.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. Makes me think of Linus on Charlie Brown, because it seems like every time he talks, he's got something more positive to say. More, Charlie Brown has this little negative outlook, and then Linus will say something about, yes, but I don't know.
Well, and even Eeyore, we
yeah.
use Eeyore a lot. Well, it was going to rain on me anyway. And we have friends in our lives that friends, family, people in my husband and I's lives that are Eeyores, and it's hard. And even when Riley's been in Eeyore, I'm like, okay, I can't sit with this energy
do
right
Eeyore
now.
with you
I can't do Eeyore with you right now, so I'm gonna just have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
Well,
let's
this is
talk
the
about
transition you have to take. The voice of Eeyore is the same guy that does the voice of Optimus Prime.
Oh,
So you say you have to go from Eeyore to Optimus Prime.
is that
nice.
serious?
Yeah, same guy.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, so many years different.
Wow.
So there you go. So you can
Okay.
say, hey, stop being an Eeyore and be an
get
Optimus,
Optimus
Prime.
Prime.
Because this guy
Optimus.
is.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's a good thought. What are you guys thankful for? What do you guys have gratitude for? I mean, it is the month of let's be thankful, but let's talk about some of the things that we are thankful for.
What do you think that would be for you?
I am thankful that my knee just popped back into joint.
Yes, yes.
Because we're getting older. So,
Yeah,
of course, we're
because-
thankful for those
Yep.
things.
I'm thankful that I have a home that I live in with my boyfriend / spouse and my
They
two
both
boys.
live there with you.
Yes.
That is
Well,
that is tricky.
Yeah, that is tricky.
That's a tricky
If you ever-
navigation, and if that's working out, you should definitely
If
be
you ever
thankful.
need tips,
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah.
But yes. No, I'm thankful so much for Judd. Despite my tendency to be the negative, he always seems to be able to say, yeah, but what about this? Right?
Yeah.
I was telling you guys that we had just scheduled our family
Oh
getaway.
yeah,
for
I'm
the
so
summer.
excited
so
for
happy
you.
for you.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited too. And I've been, a bit overwhelmed with the, we've got this kind of crazy economy going on right now. And he's like, this is going to be
Bless you.
fine.
Excuse me.
This is going to be fine. This is going to be great. He's always got that positive outlook on things. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for the continued improvement of my brother's health. And, we've had such a emotional year with things that have been going on with him. And it always is getting better. And so I'm so grateful for that.
You're going on 9 months.
Yeah, it's been 9 months that he's had his strokes. And so I'm so grateful for that. So grateful for that. I'm so grateful for my boys who are most of the time stepping into some different roles in their lives. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for my health and for this career that I've had for 25 years and for my sweet friends, all my sweet friends that have kept me alive this year. There's no doubt about that. There's just a list, it's like when you sit back and think about the list, it's like, okay, all is well. Really all is well, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What about for you, Patty?
I am. This was a big year for us too. We added a son-in-law, which today is his birthday. So
Aw.
shout out.
happy birthday.
Happy
Austin.
birthday, Austin. He listens sometimes, but I know they're probably getting ready to go
Celebrating
out
a
and celebrate. But,
Birthday.
and we get to celebrate with him this weekend, and then again in a few weeks around Thanksgiving, we're doing another little celebration. But I had a beautiful wedding this summer. Grateful to have that time and make it so awesome. Grateful that I have 2 grandkids that live really close, and that's fun to have my oldest daughter live right in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I have had some great experiences this year. I learned how to scuba dive at
Yeah.
52, and I wish I would have learned at 30 because I feel like I missed 20 years of opportunity. But
thank goodness you didn't wait till you were 70.
right. And I thought that I just never thought it was something I cared about, and it was actually magical to swim with the
Yeah.
animals and the sharks and the turtles and all the different fish, and realize I'm like breathing underwater. I mean, with it tank and all the things, but that was pretty amazing. I've had, this has really been a good start to a good school year for me. And, I'm grateful for that too. But my friends and, my health and my body, when I push it to do things, I'm always trying to tell it to like, oh, I'm just grateful that my body can do this. And I was listening to a podcast that talked about how this person started referring to her body as she and her instead of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And I thought that was an interesting concept because when we personalize it, we take care of it better.
We're not mean.
Yeah.
We don't say horrible things
horrible
about
things about our bodies, which we tend to do because we're so self-critical. And so there's that. But yeah, I have a lot of people in my life that I love a lot, and I feel very blessed to have people. I've been recently, as you know, on the opposite Wednesdays of our podcast, I pick up ladies from the Dove Center and we go to equine therapy.
Love it.
And it has been, I'm very grateful to have that opportunity to also meet these strong women, but also to be involved in that therapeutic situation where, as I'm mostly a bystander and observer, I can glean things from it as well for myself. So it's like I'm getting a little bit of free therapy in a way. But
cool.
Not that you need it.
No, because I'm fine.
I'm
But-
fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
We're fine.
We're all fine. Everything's fine. But I leave grateful for the opportunity to know these women who are so courageous. And I always wonder if I could have, if I needed to, would I be as courageous to leave the situations after 28 years or what they've done or the trauma they've been through as, from the start and led them to where they're at today. And so I become more grateful to my parents who who took care of me so well.
Right.
And I can score a 0 on the Adversive Childhood Experiences scale, which is pretty rare. I think my kids would score at least a 1.
Well, you say
In
that,
their
but
heads.
you don't know that.
I would refute it. I would refute it. I'm like, no,
They're
you two are
clearly
fine.
wrong.
You're fine. You're fine. But lots of gratitude.
Yeah.
And I try really hard not to forget it,
Right.
the things I'm grateful for.
And not to get caught up in
Yeah.
the
I
other
don't
stuff.
meditate, and I know that would be an easy way to, well, I think even prayer, meditation, whatever anyone does, the first thing we do is recognize things we're thankful for, right?
Yeah.
However anyone does that. But I probably could meditate more and just focus on 1 or 2 of those things each day and
Yeah.
be a better
Well, because
opportunity for my day.
meditation is really just about heightened awareness.
Yeah.
And stopping
And
and
yeah.
thinking. And,
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's
that's
that's the
what-
space that gratitude
Grows from.
tends to manifest, or that we can clearly see in, is when we take that moment to be fully aware of the wholeness of who we are and the wholeness of our
Right.
experience. Yeah.
Right. And whether that's a prayer to some higher power specific or just to the universe
Yep.
or in a meditation. Anytime we have a family gathering, we'll do a gratitude
Yeah.
prayer, but it could mean a lot of things too. Doesn't have to be a prayer. It could be
Right.
just a note.
Salutation. or-
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could definitely do more of that in my life. But I'm grateful for what I do now.
Yeah.
And I have long lists of things to be grateful
Well,
for.
I think that's part of the conversation around gratitude is that you can't do it wrong.
Right.
So even if there's a way that you could choose to step into more of it, it doesn't mean that where you're at is wrong.
Yeah.
So gratitude, I think, is a place that's judgment free, and there's not very many places that are that way.
Not now, huh?
Yeah, and so I love the idea that that happiness, for example, is in this moment, but gratitude extends beyond this moment to a greater feeling and understanding that within the wholeness of life, that there is an energy that works in your greater good. And that gratitude is a willingness to like reach your hand out and grab it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super grateful that my mom is where she's at, and she's not free from pain, and she's not 100% by any means. But from a year ago and from 2 years ago, we didn't think she would be here. And the fact that she is here now is amazing. And I know I'm grateful for that. I'm sure sometimes she's like, can I be done now?
Yeah.
I am in a lot of pain, but yeah,
She's amazing.
Yeah.
she's a trooper.
How about you, Kim Michelle?
Well, obviously, I mean, I think that on so many levels, I just sometimes you make choices and decisions and you really have no appreciation around the ultimate reasons or impact from those choices or decisions. Like I came back to teaching because honestly, I feel like it's just part of who I am.
Right.
And so when that opportunity came up for me to return, it just felt like that's part of who I am. And even though there are frustrations that come along with that, it's still a job, it's still work, it's still those kinds of things.
Right.
It feels purposeful to me. It feels that it is a part of who I am. And so, and I did want to get back into state retirement and those kinds of things as we continue to age.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We're continuing to age?
Well, I am.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as
Well, you're on your own. I am going to defy it as often as much as I can.
So I didn't really have an appreciation or understanding fully of what a year and a half later or a year back into teaching, what my life was going to look like. So I had just finished my first year back in when Scott's original diagnosis came down. So to be back in a place where I'm so thankful for insurance. You can be frustrated with that, and I'm going to be.
Yeah, because
To
it's
some
not
level,
as-
because it's a lot of hoops.
Yeah.
And
A lot of work.
and it's a lot of work. It's a full-time job just to go through 10 pages of billings and
explanation of benefits.
right.
And then, yeah.
And somebody's got to be doing that, and that's going to be me at this
Okay.
point, right? That's going through and looking
Right.
those and saying, nope, that's in network. That's not out of network,
Right.
which makes a significant difference. And at the same time, even as I do that, and even as I may be frustrated with it, I am also so grateful and feel so blessed that I have that it also makes it clear to me that I have a responsibility to those who don't.
Yeah.
And so in my gratitude and in my blessing, I also know that there is a charge for me, that there is a call there that,
More to come.
that for those things that I've been so blessed with and that I have such an opportunity with, that other people faced with similar situations should also have confidence of knowing that they can get care and that they can get services and that they can get the kinds of things that they need without feeling like at the end of the day that they're going to lose their house or they're going to lose everything that they have.
Right.
Because you already are giving everything you can to the care of the person that you love. That should be the last thing that you're now also trying to
focus.
deal with.
Right. Especially when it's so, what's the word when they call and talk to you about it? It's so unemotional or.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, you just brought something up for me that I need to check on because I have an appointment with someone in the next couple of weeks and I got to make sure they're in my network.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it because it was a referral. So
Yeah.
I would assume, but you don't.
No,
do not
you
assume
cannot assume that.
because you will
Yeah.
make an ass out of you and me. One thing I remember from high school.
So I'm very thankful for the decision that I made and not knowing the full extent of that decision, that I made it because it felt true to who I was. And I think that's a good reminder that when you make choices and decisions from that authentic place of who you are, the core of who you are, that life will align in some way to serve you in that space. So I'm thankful for the resources that are available to us. I'm thankful even as we go through this challenging time that there's also so many beautiful moments of connection that in the busyness of our days we might have otherwise missed.
Right.
We had all of our kids over the last probably 6 weeks. We've had all of our kids here and shared just some beautiful, beautiful time with them. We had our daughter here, thanks to my 2 very good friends that helped get her here. And then once she was here, she stayed for almost a month. Those kinds of, I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful for the grace they have shown us as their parents and for all of the mistakes that inevitably you make as parents, that they love us and want to spend time with us and that they can say, all right, you totally blew that and it's all right.
Right. I think about that, as I'm, my kids are now just my best friends.
Yeah.
And I was super grateful. A couple weeks ago, I was able to go up by myself and stay with Abby in Austin for 3 days and cook her favorite meals. And I just got to be her mom. And she's 25 and doesn't always need me. And that, we talk every day. But just to be able to be in her space and clean her, like we gutted her kitchen and organized her kitchen. And I think back to some of the things I did and I cringe. Parenting things, the parenting mistakes. That's why it's so great to have grandkids because you kind of get a do-over and they just love you and then you can leave and you don't necessarily have to discipline.
Right.
But I kind of do because I feel like I shouldn't. But anyway, I do think about that with my girls that I made some parenting mistakes and they are giving me grace.
Yeah.
And I doing my best to not make mistakes as a grandma and as a mom with adult children because they're so fun. I love them. I love my kids.
I've said for years and years and years that there's, in my world, there's just nothing sweeter than when the people you want to hang out with the most are your adult children.
That's cool.
Because they're just the most fun people in the whole world. When our adult children get together and we're just together and we're playing cards or whatever, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's just the best. And like I said, we've made so many mistakes along the way. And I'm sure that there's still things that they will get to work out.
Sure.
I'm sure about that because we're all still working out things. But if you work out those things from a place of I'm thankful first and I still get to work this thing out, then I think that's the best place to work things out from.
Absolutely. And we, we were gifted an extra son, daughter-in-law, and grandson 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And in fact, Gideon will be 8 in December. And when we met him, he was almost 2.
Oh,
Wow.
gosh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's so crazy. And our youngest, Abby, was sending me pictures last night. This was Gideon 6 years ago. She had on her Snapchat, and she was just sending me, pictures of him. But so we were gifted these 3, and now they live here, and which is awesome because I have, it was a little awkward at first.
Yeah, of
you know.
course.
Yeah. And now I was just saying to Bailey and Riley that how much I love my daughter-in-law, Ashley. And when we were with them Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and she doesn't ever miss coming right up to me and hugging me. I love to love her, and I just love the relationship. And Christian, they came over to my dad's birthday party, and which was great. That's not necessarily their biological grandparents.
Yeah.
But it's been my parents and family have just absorbed them
Yeah.
as
Enveloped
you
them
are
into
my
the crew.
this is my nephew, this is my grandson, and I watched Christian hug my dad when they got in there and say like a full hug, happy birthday hug.
Yeah.
And my family isn't huggers. My parents growing up, we didn't hug. Riley forced that on us 33 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Or 32 years ago, and now everyone's comfortable, mostly comfortable with hugging. But and Christian didn't grow up with Riley hugging, and so because he was 27 when we found each other.
Yeah.
And so, and my dad wasn't a hugger, but to see that, I'm super grateful for that
Yeah.
relationship and our relationships with them and my kids enveloping Christian, Ashley, Gideon. And when Bailey goes, oh, you haven't met my brother? This is my brother. And every now and then Bailey will look in the mirror and she's like, oh my gosh, I look like Christian. And it's just this funny, like,
Connection.
we have a science fair project going, nature nurture experiment going on
Yeah.
in
That's
our world,
so
and
great.
but I'm grateful for them and them in my life and how they love too, and where we're at today.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they've lived in St. George now 3 years this December.
What?
Yeah,
How is that even a thing?
yep, they moved December 2019.
They just got here.
I know, it's so crazy.
I don't know. And I don't know how Cassie's been gone so long either. I
Yeah.
don't
Right.
even know.
Yeah.
I don't even
And how
know.
she's 30,
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
in the heck is that a thing?
Yeah.
or how you guys have been back in St. George.
Yeah.
Since 11.
Since 2011.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say 12 years, but
Yeah.
it's been 11 and
20,
yeah.
Yeah.
12, almost 12.
And you were gone how many?
We were gone 15.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Oh, wait. No, we left in 2004.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were gone
Max,
7.
It was
We
right
were
after
gone
Max was
7.
born.
Okay.
Right
So
after
you've been
Max was
home
born.
You've
Longer.
been back here longer than when you were gone.
Thank God.
I
Yeah.
know. That's it. I remember the phone call. I remember where I was when you called me. And I was like, what? Kim Michelle. I was at a friend's house. I ran around the side of their house so I could have privacy when you called and hear you. And it was, yeah.
Yep. We
That
are
was-
ever so grateful for that.
Yep.
And these two were so adorable. So when we moved back, Scott, I was flying in because I had just had surgery. And Scott was driving the big
U-Haul.
truck back with Cassie that could only go uphill at about 30 miles an hour, which we're very grateful for because it wasn't 20 miles an hour.
Right.
But when we pulled in finally to where we were going to be initially living for some healing, which was just a beautiful place, they had come in and they had put in the kinds of things that you don't always think you're going to need to have access to immediately, like toilet paper and stuff like that. They had fully stocked the house.
You would have remembered that
No.
had you not been flying back after surgery.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I don't think I would have, honestly. I mean, I would have known it's in somewhere, something somewhere,
It's
but
in-
I
it's
don't
in
think
that
that I.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's packed somewhere. Yeah.
And I don't know why it is, but when you're moving, you never get there in the morning. You get there in
No.
the late night, and you're
Right.
exhausted, and you just
Right.
have to go
Yeah.
find a floor to sleep on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm thankful for all of that experience, right? I'm thankful for the opportunity to leave because it was wonderful experience, but it also made me appreciate so much more when we got to come back, right? So it's all how we choose to see that experience. Scott is so great at being optimistic about all of it.
Yeah.
I'm not as good about that.
Well,
I'm more
you're realist.
I'm more of a
Mhm.
realist than an optimist,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very grounded in grace and gratitude.
Yeah.
But I do tend to be more of a realist. Scott is optimistic about it always,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Right. And you don't.
which I'm not always grateful for.
Yeah. Yeah. So we talk about things like, oh, it's so much better to be an optimist, but yeah, there are some negative sides to a pessimist. Pessimists worry a lot. They're going to probably suffer from heart disease more often than an optimist, but an optimist might not be prepared. And and somewhere in the middle, that
It's a great
realist
balance.
is the balance. For me, I probably because I grew up in St. George, I only expect good weather. So I am always surprised when I should have brought a coat. I am honestly never prepared for anything but good weather.
Funny.
So Riley, you might want to bring
Does
a
he
coat.
pack one for you?
Well, yes, now because otherwise he has to feel like he has to give me his and then he freezes. So yes, I am doing much better at 53.
Preparing.
Finally.
Preparing
Yeah.
for the emergencies.
But I just am like, what? We live here. It's supposed to be great. I was today, plus I get in my car in my driveway and I pull out and I'm still warm and I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
I just need to check the weather.
We're
before-
pretty-
Well, my mom's up north today. And
Spoiled.
she sent me a picture of her snow.
Oh,
And I said,
yeah.
"Oh no, thank you.
That's
no.
what my nephew sent me.
No,
he
no.
sent me that, and he has been sending me pictures the last couple of weeks as they have had
Yeah.
more snow. And my responses are always,
Yeah,
what?
no, thank you.
And he's pretty excited for it.
I know
And I just keep,
Brandon loves it, but
I tell people, look, we're coming up on this day. Get rid of that before we get there,
yeah,
because I don't
please.
want to prepare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I am grateful for St. George weather.
Yeah,
I will add
am
that to
too.
my gratitude list for
For
sure.
sure. For
Oh my
sure.
goodness.
And
Except
that's
for
the thing.
today.
I think is just to always, even the little things. Every time you say thank you, you are energetically putting out grace and gratitude into the world.
Right.
Every time you acknowledge someone when they've done a kind deed for you, every time somebody the other day paid for my Starbucks, so I paid for the one behind me because
Right.
that's how you pay that,
Mm-hmm.
continue
Forward.
to pay that
Well,
forward.
and think of just what that does for people's days. Just a small, like
It's the
when I have
smallest
students leave my
gesture.
classroom and say thank you, I'm like,
You're
you're the cutest.
Right.
And I try really hard to say, thank you for coming today.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so glad you made it.
Yep.
Because I want them to know I'm thankful that they're there. It helps me,
Right.
yeah.
as a teacher, it helps when the students are there. It's not as big of a pain in the ass when I have to make up stuff when they're not there. But
Because to ask a question and then have to answer it yourself,
Right.
that gets really old.
yeah, when
really
I'm talking,
fast.
when I'm just teaching
Yeah.
to no one.
yeah,
I talk to myself a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
yeah, me too.
I looked at my students today and I was like, this is like Bueller.
I know. Isn't it? Like,
I'm like,
hello.
you guys can't even guess. Like, just
Yeah.
guess.
Guess.
It's okay to
Right.
guess
Guess.
right now.
Right.
What do you think could be
I don't know.
this
What's
option?
the possibility?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quiet out there sometimes,
Yeah.
isn't
And
it?
they just are all looking at
Crickets.
me like, that sounds like hard
Yeah.
to think that hard.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am grateful that they're there.
Yeah.
Me too.
I do.
They're
I
fun this
am
year.
having a really good school
Yeah.
year.
I'm
This
really
year they're
enjoying my
fun, too.
kids.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
Mhm.
Yeah.
a lot of fun kids this year, and
Mhm.
I needed it.
Yeah. And I just want to
Hardcore.
also say I'm so thankful to my school. The teachers and the students have been so gracious to me through this whole experience so far. I just really am I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be.
So
That's
nice.
awesome. I think so too. It would be more fun for me and Jill if you were
Yep.
in our wing at our school. But Pineview has a heart.
They have a heart.
They've held
they have
you.
a
They do.
culture there.
They have a
of
culture of care.
support and
Mhm.
care.
Yep.
And they've just been
Mhm.
phenomenal with me.
That's so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know who to send payment to then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think as we go forward, that anyone listening can take just glean from whatever you can
Yeah.
about, what little things can we be grateful for? I'm grateful when I have a backup toothpaste.
Honestly.
I know.
I'm
my
grateful
favorite-
for my toothbrush and my toothpaste in my
Yeah.
purse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite meme is when that says, "Hey, Mom, we're out of toothpaste." Okay, I'll add it to the Christmas list. You'll have to wait till Christmas. I mean, that's the kids get toothpaste in their
no.
stocking. Yep. But my girls do really appreciate if I buy the razors, since
Yeah.
you have to take out a second mortgage to buy razors.
No kidding. Yeah.
When I put razors in their stocking, they
They
are
like it.
very grateful for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so fun to find those little things,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I
for
don't
sure.
have we don't have our kids this year for Christmas.
Are you grateful?
I'm a little grateful. I told them both, I hope all your in-laws buy you cute Christmas pajamas and stuff your stockings. Your dad and I will be in Mexico.
We'll be in Mexico.
There you go. On the beach.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Uh-huh.
know what we're going to do, but I think we'll maybe do something.
Yeah.
I don't
It'll
know.
be amazing, whatever you choose.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
And as we move forward into this month of Thanksgiving and all that goes along with it, we're certainly grateful for all of you for joining us
Mhm.
and listening in and hanging with us when you do. And hope that you and yours have such a fantastic Thanksgiving and a fantastic month.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And peace and love to all of you
Yes,
and
absolutely.
yours.
Mhm.
And of course, we'll be back one more time before Thanksgiving, but just know we appreciate you.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank
you.
you.
And Sean.
And
Yeah.
Sean.
I'm grateful for
And
Sean.
even Sean. Even Sean.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sean. Happy week.
Thanks for listening to It's a Great Day to Talk. Be sure to follow and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform.
And until next week,
Get out there and talk.
This has been a production from a podcast studio.